Hi, I'm Blythe Stephens of A Blythe Coach, dance education and coaching to move through life with balance, grace, and power. Today we're doing a stretching sequence that stretches all of the major muscle groups that we're using in ballet. So we will be stretching the quadriceps, the muscle on the top of the thigh, the front of the thigh, the hamstrings in the back, the calf muscles, a couple layers of calf muscles, the internal adductors, the external rotators, the side body, trying to get a really good full body stretch. Once we're warmed up, so after our ballet bar or after doing some other warm-up exercises, maybe dance warm-up on the floor, or maybe another kind of workout, a run, a bicycle ride, that sort of thing, is a great time to do these stretches to maintain and increase your flexibility. With these stretches, there's many different versions that you can perform depending on what you prefer, what feels right in your body, what is recommended by your health professional. So always consult with your doctor or your physical therapist, somebody with a medical professional before starting a new stretching or exercise routine. But we're going to start with our calf stretch. So leaning into the bar. If I face you straight on, you can't see so well. So I'll go this way. Leaning into a bar, or if you don't have a bar, you're working at home, you can work with a stable and strong chair or table. So a chair or a stool or something like that. That is sturdy, that is the right height for these stretches. You'll determine what that is after practicing them. Can also work. These stretches can also, versions of these stretches can also be performed on the floor, reclining and lunging and kneeling onto the floor without a bar. And for some taste of that, I do also have a video on basic hip stretches that are performed on the floor and other ballet stretches that we can do on the floor. Today we're doing all stretches that are on the bar, so we're standing up, not having to roll around the floor. So our calf stretch is in parallel. All of the toes are facing in the same direction, and the back leg is straight, planting the heel down into the floor and then leaning in. It can be great to have something to press against, whether that's your bar, your chair, a wall. It can help us really lean into the stretch a little bit more deeply. We'll do that for 8 counts. And then we'll pull back, switching out the legs. So the front knee will stretch, the back leg will bend, and we'll flex the front foot, drawing our hips back and opening up that stretch in the calf muscle to a different layer of calf muscle tissue, and also maybe getting a little stretch in the hips as we pull back. And then we'll move back towards our bar for our quadriceps stretch. So this can happen one of several ways. You can use this bar or chair as a tool to press against with your toes. You can even hook the toes onto the bar like I'm doing here, drawing the knees in together, sending that bent leg knee deeply, and then opening up through the front of the body. Or you can also grasp with your hand or with both hands as a balancing pose and lift the chest up and away into that quadricep stretch. So with the bar, with one hand or with both hands, we'll stretch that quadricep muscle also for 8 counts. So we've done a calf stretch for 8 counts, pulling back for 4, transitioning for 4, quadricep stretch. Then we'll stretch the external rotators of the hips. So we'll turn out the leg and either just sit back into a figure 4 stretch. So we'll prop that ankle on top of the bent standing leg, or we can press it up onto our bar. This is sort of a deep attitude shape. You can also turn on an angle, but we're seeking to have both of those hips facing front into the heel of the bent leg here or here, pressing the knee and thigh back and down in any of these shapes that you choose to do. So 8 counts there, and then we will extend the leg out in the front of us here with the shoulders and hips square to that extended leg. Now you could practice this also in parallel. That would give a nice hamstring stretch as well. So you could choose one, either parallel legs or turned out. Both are fine. They stretch slightly differently, but we'll do one in the sequence and then you could try the other one another time. We'll plie, and then we'll bend forward in the upper body long, and then as deep as we can, and then come back up and plie. Then rotating to face our chair or surface. This might be a little difficult depending on how long the furniture is that you're using. A version of this is also possible without the hand support, where you're just propping your heel up on your bar or support, and then without your hands doing this next stretch. So the next stretch is, again, starting with the plie like we did where the leg was reaching in front. Then we'll bend over towards our leg that's extended. Here's our upper body side stretch. And then we'll bend away from the extended leg. And then we'll end with a plie again. Then transitioning to the other side, we can just take that leg off and move, or we can take one more attitude stretch. We had our front attitude or our figure four stretch. The final one may be, depending on if this is appropriate for you and the height of your support, may be a back attitude stretch. So here, with just the foot on the bar or the whole thigh on the bar, we get a pretty deep stretch there. I'm just going to pass through that shape as I prepare to go on the other side. To stretch the calf muscle, and then shift, then stretch the quadricep muscle, how you want to. We'll try to dance our transitions out, and then shift into our front attitude shape or figure four stretch for the external rotators, yes. Then our stretch for the leg to the front, plie. I'll bend the upper body to meet that outstretched leg, and then plie, and then side two while plie, and sweep side, and the other way, and plie. And then you can also perform this, I didn't say, but it adjusts the stretch and can be fun to play with having a flexed foot or a stretched foot. We want to consciously choose one of those options, but you can experiment with which one feels best in each of these shapes. And then we'll transition out, maybe with this attitude shape, maybe not. And that's our sequence for the day. So we'll try this with music. This music that I've chosen is Mapuana Leg Stretch. That's performed by Megumi Kopp of the West Hawaii Dance Theater, which is my home studio on the Big Island of Hawaii. And she has graciously granted me permission to use her recordings in my YouTube video. So thank you, Megumi. We'll enjoy this beautiful stretching music together as we stretch all the major muscle groups of the legs. So choosing your parallel or turned out stance in all these positions, we will start in parallel for our calf stretch to begin with. So send one leg back, rooting the heels down into the stretch and leaning in. 1, 3, 4, 5. Get the stretch in the belly of the calf muscle. 7, 8. Then reaching the hips back, bending the front leg. 4. Move towards your bar or your chair for a quad stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then moving into a figure four stretch or a front attitude shape for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Stretch it in front of you. Plie. Up and over forward. Return. Plie. Turn to the side. Plie. Stretching up and over towards that extended foot, which you can flex or extend. Other way. Hips pretty level, lifting up through the center and away. And plie. Okay, other side. Other calf muscle reaching behind. Now I've got my left foot reaching back. I started with the right leg for everything. And 8, then pulling back for 4. And then stepping in for my quadriceps stretch. Grasping with one hand or leaning that foot against my bar. Or taking 2 hands. 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're moving into our figure 4 or front attitude with plie or without. Turning to face the leg, extending it. Plie. That deepens the hamstring stretch a little bit. And then we stretch our standing leg and port a bras forward. Elongating through the spine to reach over the leg, plie. Then adjust your stance to have this leg extending to the side, plie. Up and towards that, oh, beautiful upper body stretch. That's why we warmed up first, and away. Plie, and then transition away. Thanks for joining me for this juicy leg stretch at the bar. I hope you enjoyed stretching out and feel nice and prepared for your next dance movements and to increase your flexibility in your life. Do go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you like and what you would like to see more of. And subscribe to make sure you're notified of all my future videos. Even better, come visit my website at ablythecoach.com. That's ablythecoach.com. There I have tons more free resources, a free sample class, and the opportunity to join my weekly email newsletter, which brings joy and information directly to your inbox. So check it out at ablythecoach.com. See you next time.